Okay, level check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. If you're getting ready for the 7:15 live streaming weather show from the Fox 19 Now Streaming Center, I'll be with you in under 2 minutes. My clock right now says 7:13, so I don't have a second hand on it because it's right off the lower corner of the computer. We'll be talking about Red's opening day coming up. We'll also be talking about the end of the La Nina and what that means for our summer weather, and a couple other things. So we've got lots to talk about. Hope you'll find what we've got to talk about interesting. And before we get to that, I'm going to take a couple sips of Diet Mountain Dew and we'll be ready to go. Okay, one more time, level check, level check, level check. Looks like everything's going through. I've got all the buttons pushed, and it looks like we are ready to go. In under a minute, this is meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. I'll be with you, and we'll do the 7:15 live streaming weather show. All right, everyone, it is 7:15, and here we go with the Fox 19 streaming weather show. It's live every Monday through Friday at 7:15. And what you see there is you see the cloud cover. Now, that's all high, thin stuff. The cloud cover that moved through earlier was those fair weather cumulus clouds with a blue sky behind it. And I tell you what, the cloud cover we've got is not really going to bring much in the way of weather until we get near dawn, and we do have some rain coming in overnight. So overall, I think what we're going to see is showers mainly from the city southward. This looks like it's going to mainly be an event for northern Kentucky, the southern part of Ohio, although the rest of us will get some showers, but I think the morning commute looks particularly wet for those areas that I just spoke about. Forgot to move my mouse pad over here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. If we take a wider view of this, you can see that there is the weather maker that is coming our way from South Dakota and Minnesota into Iowa, Missouri, Illinois. That is the system that'll bring us the rainfall. Now, some of the models say only from the city southward, but then scattered stuff later in the day north of the city. Some of the models are saying much more widespread, but just count on a slow go. Nothing really heavy as far as the rain goes, no severe storms, but you know what a wet morning commute can mean in the tri-state. And again, if we take a look at the American flag, I always love to look at the red, white, and blue there flying in the breeze. The winds are now out of the southeast on that flag. That is on the rooftop of the Dalton Street U.S. Post Office building right down there near I-75. You can see the northbound traffic zooming right by. And we still have quite a breeze, 53 degrees. And with that breeze, that makes it feel kind of chilly out there. So, again, a little bit of a breeze, traffic moving well on the interstate, and we've got a lot of weather to talk about here. So let's go ahead and first of all take a look at the opening day parade. Now, if you're watching from an area not in Cincinnati, opening day for the Cincinnati Reds is like a local holiday. I mean, it's almost like St. Patrick's Day is in Chicago, okay? Of all those, Cincinnati's smaller, so it's not quite as big as the Chicago St. Patrick's Day parade is, but it's a local holiday. And so as you set up for the parade, upper 30s around the tri-state, and that's why we've been recommending the sunny side of the street. There's a song. Who did that song? Was that Louis Armstrong? It might have been Louis Armstrong that did Sunny Side of the Street. 48 as the parade starts at noon, and 53 by the end of the parade. And so definitely looks like a nice day. No rain, no real high winds, nothing like that. Just kind of chilly, but less chilly on the sunny side of the street. And so that's what we are looking at. All right, so overall, we have got airport temperatures as of 7 p.m. down to 46 in Richmond. Now, Richmond, Indiana, that airport up there tends to be a really chilly spot. Everybody else is still in the 50s, and that's actually not that far from normal. Portsmouth did hit 59, it hits 59 now, but it did hit 60 earlier today. Sunset today at 7:54, so we've got a little while before it gets here. And temperatures drop by 11 o'clock to 44 degrees. Overnight, we're talking about temperatures dropping off to around 40, but notice the icon showing the showers arriving, and we think the showers arrive between 5 and 6 a.m. I'll show you the latest model run here. Sunrise is at 7:34. Okay, so starting off at 7 p.m., we've got the cloud cover there. It's pretty close to what we saw on the satellite. Put that into motion, it stops. 7 a.m. Tuesday, we've got rain from Versailles, Patriot, Alexandria, Georgetown, West Union, and southward. Now, some of the models say it'll expand a little bit farther north than that. So right now we're thinking most of the rainy weather for the morning commute down in Kentucky, the southern part of southeast Indiana, the southern part of Ohio. But there's a chance that everybody will see at least a little bit. As we head into the afternoon, we've got scattered showers in the area, more scattered showers as we head toward midnight into Wednesday morning, and then it does dry out when we begin to clear out during the day on Wednesday. So we've got a very active weather pattern coming our way, but right now the news is good as we head on into Thursday. All right, Climate Prediction Center says that we're going to go into a warmer than normal pattern for the 6 to 10 day outlook, which takes us to the 3rd of April. The 3rd of April, by the way, the anniversary of the 1974 tornado outbreak. We also have warmer than normal weather through the 7th, and then the 3 to 4 week outlook that came out on Friday says that we stay warmer than normal through the 19th of April. And so that's pretty consistent with what we've been saying here on the live streaming show over the past couple of weeks, that it looks like we're going to snap into a somewhat warmer than normal. We're not talking about extremely warm, not early heat wave or anything like that, because La Nina is just kind of fading away. The La Nina that almost wasn't, despite the fact that the models at this time last year were really blowing it up, the La Nina just didn't really develop much. And when it didn't develop heading into December, that's when I started talking about a pretty rough January as far as snow and cold goes, and that happened. And then the La Nina finally made it, and now it's dying out already. So what we're looking at for spring into summer is a relaxation of all the weather patterns to something near normal, a little bit above, a little bit below, with some residual effects of the La Nina still in the tri-state, okay? So, and it doesn't make much sense if you're not following or you don't have a lot of knowledge about the La Nina and El Nino. But typically, La Nina means a wet spring and temperatures near normal. And it looks like the temperatures will be near normal to a little bit above normal, consistent with the La Nina weakening and going away, but a little bit more precipitation than normal, at least early in the spring and for the next couple of weeks, as we have residual effects of the La Nina pattern. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at precipitation in the 6 to 10 day outlook. Above normal, so that's consistent with what I just said, kind of above normal precipitation for the next few weeks. A little bit above normal, so near normal to a little bit above normal through the 7th of April, and through the 19th, we go to near normal with the above normal pulling off to the north. And so this is all consistent, again, with a La Nina that is disappearing, the weather system's readjusting to a near normal pattern with some residual effects of the La Nina still in the forecast. All right, so your 7-day forecast looks like this. That's a photograph, by the way, I took today. My next door neighbors are right by our driveway. I don't know what kind of a tree that is, but I thought the blooms were looking kind of nice with the blurry clouds in the background. 40 degrees tonight, 49 tomorrow with scattered showers. Now, if the rain ends earlier and we break out into some sunshine, a few spots could make it into the 50s, but I'm thinking 49 with some fairly thick cloud cover out there. 33 and 51 for Wednesday. Wednesday mostly sunny. Now, opening day is Thursday, 31 the low, 56 the high. So it's going to be kind of chilly with a low of 31, and again, warming into the upper 30s as you head down to downtown along the parade route. That's why we're recommending the sunny side of the street. And then a high temperature of about 56 degrees. And if you take a look at specific numbers for the Reds game, Okay, and of course you can see all that live here on Fox 19. We are now the flagship station for the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, and our coverage of opening day will begin at 11:30 a.m. That includes the parade, that includes the game. We've got everything for you. Temperature, though, for the first pitch at 4:10, around 56 degrees, 54 for the seventh inning temperature, and at the end of the game, about 53. And we are playing the San Francisco Giants. All right. Then Friday, we take a jump up into the 70s, 46 and 74. Chance of a shower, breezy, but no Reds game on Friday. The Reds do play Saturday and Sunday. Saturday looks fine, 56 and 73. It's a 4:10 game, so we're talking about temperatures in the low 70s as that game begins. Sunday could be an issue, could be a problem day. Low of 59, high of 67, rain, thunder, could be some strong thunderstorms, could be fairly long-term widespread rain, so we're keeping an eye on that. And then Monday, a few showers with a high temperature of 55. When we go to beyond the 7-day forecast, so this goes 7 days longer, you can see that we're mostly in the 60s. Okay, now 61 is not that far from normal at this time of year, but 69 is above normal. So we're staying a little bit warmer than normal, a little bit below normal Tuesday, a little bit above normal wind for Thursday, Friday, and on. And then notice that we still have an active weather pattern, so there could be several small rain episodes during that 7-day stretch, which ends on the 7th of April. And here is the 7-day plus. Okay, 7-day plus, those are the high and low temperatures. We add on the lines that show you the normals, and you can see that we spend more time above normal on the high side and the low side as we head toward the 7th of April, and that means that we are talking, again, about moist, not real rainy, floody, kind of washout kind of weather, but we're talking about weather with a little bit more normal than normal precipitation and temperatures averaging out above normal. Excuse me a second. I had to take a couple swigs of Diet Mountain Dew there to get my throat moist again. And then the takeaway from this is this. Actually, somehow that didn't get there. That is the wrong graphic, so don't worry about that. I just redid that graphic, and I know what the problem is. I made a mistake. Can you believe it? So the takeaway, and I tell you what I'm going to do. While we're talking about this, I'm going to fix the right graphic so it works. Okay, all I've got to do is resave it. Okay, and I'll be with you and I'll show you the takeaway. I put this graphic together and it has some good information, so I might as well fix it and use it. Okay, that should take care of it. Now we'll know. We'll see if I got it right or not. Okay, so let's go to, so here's your 7-day plus. There are the high temperatures, there are the low temperatures, and once again, you're going to see that we spend more time warmer than normal than cooler than normal. And if we take a look at the takeaway into the first week of April, so got it right, near to above normal temperatures for that stretch of time, so as we head toward the 7th. Very active weather pattern continues. Mostly small events, but we'll be starting, because we're getting into the spring, we're getting into a warmer time of year, we're going to start to transition over from small events to stronger, bigger events, okay? No early hot weather, so we're not going to have an early heat wave as we head through April, and no seasonally extreme cold, okay? We will have some chilly days, but when I say seasonably extreme cold, for example, seasonably extreme cold in the middle of January is like temperatures going below zero. Okay, seasonably extreme cold here would be high temperatures mainly in the upper teens to lower 20s. We got nothing like that coming our way. We're going to be closer to normal than anything else at this time. All right, let me go ahead and take a look at what kind of viewership we have here on Facebook. Michael Howard said, Amen. Well, that sounds like you like what's coming at Michael. I hope you do, and thanks for watching. Andrew Riggs, hello from Fairfax. My neighbor in Fairfax. I live on the other side of the bike trail in Madisonville. Fairfax owns the bike trail right there along Murray. And so, Andrew, hello, neighbor. Susan Wally says, good evening. It's really been blowing in our neck of the woods. Up in Wilmington, at one point they had a 47-mile-an-hour wind gust, Susan. So, we had quite a lot of wind. Okay, so do I think this weekend will be a severe outbreak? I don't think it'll be an outbreak on Sunday, but I do think we have the chance of getting some severe storms. And I know you see a lot of stuff on Facebook. It's really hard to ferret out some of that information, which is good, which is bad. Anybody can look up the weather graphic from the Storm Prediction Center and then go nuts about it without knowing what they're talking about. So I'm thinking we could see some severe weather on Sunday. I don't think it'll be an outbreak, meaning not widespread and many storms, but we're keeping an eye on that. We're keeping an eye on Sunday from excessive rainfall and for some severe storms, and that's what the Storm Prediction Center is thinking at this point. So, and you're welcome, Susan. So those are the only comments so far. All right. So I tell you what, let me kind of rewind this. We'll go back up. We're going to go over the forecast for anybody that may be joining. Jeff Beechler's here. He said he saw a Facebook weatherman talking about bad storm Sunday. That's what Susan was just saying. And yeah, and I don't know who you're referring to, so I can't make a comment on the quality of the information that person's giving you. But we're talking about the possibility. And Susan asked if it would be an outbreak. It doesn't look like an outbreak to me. It looks like a few stronger to severe thunderstorms in the area, along with the possibility of some heavy rain. So we're going to have to watch that pretty closely. And besides, it's the time of year now where if we get a nice flow out of the south, which looks like it's going to happen with this, there's enough solar energy now at this time of year that can make things that a few weeks ago would be just nonchalant rain into stronger thunderstorms. And so this time of the year, when the sun's energy is getting stronger and stronger, and then the sun really isn't getting stronger and stronger. I kind of said that the wrong way. But when the angle that the sun's rays are striking the northern hemisphere is getting steeper and steeper, meaning it's more and more concentrated. So the sun's not changing, it's the angle that's changing. That's when we end up with the possibility of more storms. So I'm thinking this is one of those southern tier storms that's going to come out of the south. It's going to drag some humidity with it, some moisture. It's going to have enough energy, so I would not be surprised to see a few severe thunderstorm warnings in and around the area. And at this point in time, it would be reckless of me to go, and I've done this for so many years, you can look at something now that Sunday, oh my gosh, it looks like a sure bet on Sunday, and then when Sunday gets here, nothing happens. Things just happen that way. We don't have all the information we need. Weather is forecastable only to a point, and for all the elements to precisely come together to cause a lot of severe weather on Sunday, and to have all that information now is a pretty rare thing. So my point is that yes, it looks like it could be a severe weather day. Looks like we could see some severe thunderstorm activity. Can't make a definitive statement about tornadic activity, but it would be irresponsible for me to go off the deep end and gyrate around here and, oh my God, we're gonna. The best thing I can do is say, we're watching it, that now you're aware of it, you can also watch it, and you will not be surprised. And that's the goal. The goal is for everybody to stay safe, and to stay safe, the best thing you can do is not be surprised. And so we're already talking about it. We'll continue to talk about it this week, and we'll have a good handle on how it's evolving by the time it gets here, and you'll know what you need to know. Okay, so let me go back here. Let's. All right, I had to make. I wasn't sure what was on the screen here. So we're going to start with the Reds opening day parade forecast. All right, and we'll go from there. For those of you that just joined in late, this way you'll get all the information too. Okay, now it looks like a dry day on opening day. The parade starts at noon. So as you're getting there, getting your spot picked out in the upper 30s, but continuing to warm. Not much of wind, but a little bit of a breeze. And that's why we're recommending the sunny side of the street. So when you get to downtown Cincinnati, you'll see where the sun is and isn't, so you'll know where to pick. The parade starts with temperatures around 48, and the end of the parade around 53, so that's seasonably cool around the tri-state. Temperatures as of 7 o'clock, mostly in the 50s, although a couple spots like Washington Courthouse and Richmond have fallen into the 40s. The sun sets at 7:54, and that is 21 minutes from now. We're looking at temperatures by 11 o'clock dropping to 44 degrees. Overnight, we're talking about a low right around 40 and showers arriving somewhere around 5 to 6 a.m. and a good portion of the tri-state. And it looks like most of the rain for the morning commute will be south of the city. And here's what I mean by that. So we'll put this into motion. And you can see that by 7 a.m., we've got rain that extends from Versailles to Patriot to Alexandria to Georgetown to West Union to Vanceburg and a little bit north of that. But it's mainly concentrated south of the city. So the southern part of southeast Indiana, southern part of Ohio, and most of, if not all, of northern Kentucky. It's not real heavy rain. It looks like light rain, maybe at the most a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch in some spots. And then as we head through the day, it becomes scattered showers, and those are a little bit further north. There you see a few scattered showers. There you see a few more scattered showers. And to be completely truthful with you, what we're looking at, several other models have more rain than that. This particular model's been behaving very well. Some other models have the rain more widespread as far north as Fayette and Union counties, but we're thinking mainly in southeast Indiana with the chance that everybody ends up with a little bit of rain for the morning commute. All right. And Climate Prediction Center says we're going to go into a warmer than normal pattern for days 6 to 10. That's the 30th through the 3rd of April. We're going to stay in that warmer than normal pattern. As a matter of fact, the warmer than normal pattern strengthens and expands, and we stay in it through the 7th of April. And then the weeks 3 to 4 outlook, we stay in it all the way to the 19th of April. So it looks warmer than normal as we head through the 19th of April. Now remember, when we're talking about this, we're talking about the average temperature for an extended period of time. So that average can have some cold days, it can have some hotter days, but the average is going to end up being near normal. So no long-term extreme cold weather, no long-term extremely hot weather. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at precipitation. The 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook has us with above normal precipitation through the 3rd of April. Slightly above normal through the 7th of April. You can see the color changing there. And then through the 19th of April, near normal precipitation. So nothing really dry, but nothing extremely wet, but still a fairly active weather pattern coming our way. Now your 7-day forecast looks like this. Low tonight 40, high tomorrow 49. 33 and 51 on Wednesday. Now tomorrow we've got shower activity in the forecast as we just talked about. Looks dry on Wednesday and 51. Thursday is, of course, opening day. Clouds will increase, the low 31, the high temperature about 56. We already talked about upper 30s as you're heading to the parade route. So a chilly start to the day. And for the game itself, the forecast looks like this. First pitch, 56 degrees at 4:10 p.m. 7th inning, 34. End of the game, about 53 degrees. So we are, again, talking about a seasonally cool but very nice looking opening day in Cincinnati. Now, the Reds do not play on Friday. 46 and 74, a shower chance. And people always ask me, well, why aren't they playing on Friday? Well, Friday is the backup day for opening day. So if the opening day game will be rained out, they can still play the opening day game on Friday. And believe me, over the years, it's been a good thing to have that backup day. All right, Saturday, they do play 56 and 73 as a game that starts at 4:10 in the afternoon. So it looks like a really nice day temperature-wise on Saturday. We do have some showers on Saturday, but they don't get here till after midnight into Sunday morning, so they're really Sunday. But about midnight Saturday into Sunday, we're going to see the showers approaching, so it stays way away for the game. Sunday, rain and thunder. Again, as I mentioned, we could see some strong thunderstorms. We could see some heavier rainfall, and we're going to keep an eye out for Sunday, not only to be a first alert weather day, to be a severe weather day. And then Monday, high of 55, so the cooler weather comes in, and we have the cooler temperatures around the tri-state. All right, 56 on Tuesday, the 1st of April, as we head toward the 7th. Every other day is in the 60s. And again, fairly active, so we have a number of days when we have the potential for picking up a shower. And this kind of summarizes it much better. Put on the highs and the lows in separate lines, add on the normals, and you can see that we spend most of the time on the high side and the low side warmer than normal in the tri-state. And the takeaway from this forecast is that for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be near to above normal. A very active weather pattern continues, but we're going to begin transitioning from small, little, quick-moving rainy events to stronger events, which could bring a better chance of severe weather. No early hot weather, so no early heat wave, no late winter cold wave. We're just going to stay close to normal, and there's that forecast once again. All right, let me check Facebook one more time. If we don't have much more action there, I'm going to call it for a day. Okay. Let's see here. Jeff Beechler says he doesn't trust a lot he reads online about the weather, but nobody's talking about snow, LOL. Okay, so Ryan Hall, he said, was talking about, Ryan Hall, y'all, I know who Ryan Hall is, was talking about some severe weather Sunday with the possible spin-up tornadoes. Well, not to steal Ryan Hall's thunder, but this part of the country right around here, I mean, just to the west of the Appalachian Mountains and the Appalachian Plateau, has probably the highest incidence of little spin-up tornadoes of any part of the country because of the geography, the rising mountains, the funneling of the winds and the humidity and all that. And so most of the time, it's kind of like saying, oh, the temperature's going to be around freezing and we've got precipitation coming in. It could be snow. Well, we've got thunderstorms moving in. It looks like they could be strong. And so around here, leading edge spin-up tornadoes are a pretty common thing. Now, a little bit of a history on this. Since I've been in this business for 48, this is my 48th year, I've seen a lot of transition, a lot of changes in the way we do things, mainly because of technology. But before Doppler radar was there, the radars really didn't have the resolution to show the little leading edge spin-ups. Another thing that made a change, we've got a bigger population now, and so there are more people spread over a bigger area to see these things and to see the damage they do. And then the third factor here is that almost everybody's got some kind of an iPhone or any kind of a smartphone with a camera in it, and we get a lot of video of damage and tornadoes in progress. So since I've started, almost nobody had movie cameras that could immediately go out and run out and take a picture or a video of a tornado. Radar had low resolution. It worked really well for the big ones, but for the little leading edge spin-ups, it didn't. So we didn't really know about that many of them then. We now have a population that's bigger and spread over a larger area, so you see the damage more. And when they see the damage, the Weather Service can go do a survey, and sure enough, we found out that there are a lot more of those leading edge spin-ups than we ever imagined. And now that we have Doppler radar, the fourth factor here, which is very high in resolution, and I mean, we sit there and we have software running, and we sit there and we have software that just pinpoints where the rotation is in the storm, and then we can see those little leading edge spin-up tornadoes pop up. And so Andrew Riggs points out that Ryan Hall is talking about possible spin-up tornadoes. Don't get yourself too excited about that, because that's a pretty common thing around here. And now that Doppler radar not only it's called dual polarization. It used to just look at the horizontal, the signal that came back horizontally. Well, then they were able to make it so it looks at the horizontal and the vertical. Remember, electromagnetic radiation can be looked at as a wave like this, okay? And it's in all orientations. So you've got a wave like this, you've got a wave like this, and in 360 degrees, it really is in 3 dimensions and covers a 360-degree arc. And so since we can look at the returns from whatever's in the cloud, the rain or the debris or whatever, horizontally and vertically, we've got a lot more information about it. And for example, when you see that the precipitation or the return from the target, doesn't have to be precipitation, is abnormally, in other words, one of these dimensions is far different than the other dimension, you think, oh, that's not rain, because raindrops, as they're falling, are typically close to spherical, and so you would have about the same amount of returned energy horizontally as vertically. But when you don't, you think, oh my gosh, what is going on here? These two aren't really well correlated. That tends to be debris. And so now we have something called a debris signature, which has only been around probably, well, I don't remember exactly when we got dual polarization radar. So not only do we have, more people to see it, we have people with cameras that can go out and shoot it all the time. And then we have Doppler radar, which shows the velocity, but now with dual polarization can show you debris and other stuff. We have a much, much better insight into the occurrence of leading edge spin-ups. So when Ryan Hall says leading edge spin-ups, I don't know the tone that he used when he said that. I'm not criticizing him at all. I'm just saying what he's saying is pretty typical, okay? It's not one of those, oh my God, what's going to happen on Sunday? It's, oh, thunderstorms are coming in, leading edge spin-ups. Yeah, that happens pretty much all the time nowadays. All right, so that was that from Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, for pointing that out. Thomas Sons in Destin, Florida. Okay, Thomas, let's see here. Well, hi, Thomas. I hope you love Destin, and I hope Destin's treating you well. Andrew Riggs just put up his new Reds flag in the house the other day. All right, go Reds. This could be a really good year for them. Joe, our sports guys, Joe in particular, we're talking this evening about, well, there are a few people on the injured list. The start may be a little rocky because of some of the really greats are out there, but it's a good feeling about the Reds this year. All right, so that's it. Okay, those are all the comments I have to make. There's no new questions or anything on Facebook. So we're watching for a good opening day, but cool. And then we're watching for the possibility of some heavy rain and some strong storms coming in on Sunday. And we'll follow both of those again tomorrow. So don't forget, we'll be on tonight at 10 on Fox 19. Tomorrow morning, starting at 4:30, it's meteorologist Catherine Bodak. Coming in for the last part of the morning show will be meteorologist Ethan Emery. Ethan Emery will have his noon streaming show tomorrow, which does the same thing we do here. He'll be on in the afternoon along with me, and then that's that for tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Have yourself a nice night, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow.